What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Unreal Engine 5 game development livestream. We're back in our Deck Knight project, a game built from scratch using Unreal Engine 5, C++, blueprints, the gameplay, ability system plugin, and all of that good stuff. So today we're back, of course, with the projectile pooling system. Hopefully today's the finale, so, I put the finale in the name. Put a part 1, just to give me a little bit of leeway that maybe it won't be the finale, but I'm hoping it will. So in between the last stream and today, I was able to fix a lot of the issues with the snake pattern, so things seem to be working pretty well. You can hit multiple, you can interrupt the snake trail. Snake trail seems to update correctly after the first one gets hit. So I'll try to showcase that here. Like that. So far, so good. Maybe some problems here and there, but nothing I really want to hyper focus on, because I don't know how common the snake trail shape will be in the end, but we're making progress. So let's go on now to, I want to fix, I guess, really one major issue. I don't know if it's an issue, but I want to be able to figure out how I want to resolve the idea of it having, if you were to have a piercing projectile and a ricochet one, how could that possibly work together? So I'm thinking how to test it as well. So let's make a single shape here for single purpose testing. We'll do one. Well, I guess that it has to be that player's projectile for really good testing. So let me go to my range base. Oh. Basic. So we have ricochet and we have piercing here. So I'm going to do a damage fragment, a ricochet fragment, and a piercing fragment. I don't know actually what the results of this would be, just so we don't get any interference from the attack of the dummies. And actually, let me go into my ricochet fragment. Yeah, number of ricochets is 2, which would mean it would end after the second one, right? So let's see. So shoot. So ricochet, ricochet, ricochet. And then it continued on, as you saw. So I wonder if there's potential in that it might already be working. So if I do one ricochet, which means it should bounce at least once. I'm not sure how best to angle this. This seems reasonable. Let's see what happens. Yep. It chose the wrong guy. I guess it should, maybe the ricochet should favor the direction it's moving in. But let's see. Maybe this will be better. The ricochet, ricochet, and then, yeah. So I think it kind of worked. Let me grab my listener. So I want to grab on projectile ricochet. Is there also event? Oh, I guess I have one more overrideable one, right? Event on projectile returned. So I don't know if I need to also make one for like on projectile pierce. Just trying to prove that this works. Because it seems like it does kind of continue. Don't like the targeting really much on the ricochet. I'm not sure where I'm actually applying that gameplay effect. We're not gameplay, targeting. Targeting data? AoE movement, collision, visuals. Let's look at the code. Rico. That one, the projectile ricochet. Oh, good. Ricochet. So yeah, where is this being set? Because I feel like it's instantiated. Yeah, it's in the project settings. Okay. Which maybe is okay. Maybe it should be. Maybe there should be a custom one. So yeah, sort by distance and. Maybe there needs to be like a custom fragment for this. Or object. Or like used for projectiles and ricocheting. Because I don't think there's an easy way to add one. So unless we can also like dynamically construct one, which I think is doable in code, but that seems like a lot of work. So to me, I think it already like the way piercing and ricochet work together, I think is fine. If I'm going to be real. Just the unpredictability of the ricochet is not something I'm a big fan of, and I don't think there's much of a way right now to improve that, because again, yeah, it has to use the targeting preset, and there's currently like nothing for that. So like I would have to make my own like a custom score or custom sort based off of some sort of forward thing. And then I would have to kind of construct it in some way. I'm curious if that's something that can work. I don't know if I want to take time for that today, because I want to get back into the weapons a little bit. I do want to, at the very least, update my special attack, but yeah, this is no longer a thing. So I shouldn't have to do any of this, honestly. Like all of this mumbo jumbo. I should just be able to say projectile and pulling system. I might have to make statics. Maybe that'll be better, but whatever. Actually, no, there's actually a delay test too, right? But it has to be at the same time. The shape. The spawn and claim in shape. Make it instant struck. It's this cone fragment, right? So the cone angle is this. So spawn radius, I think it can just be like 1. Delay in between 0 is fine, I think. So you construct it like that. Instigator is this guy. Whoops. Spawn count is projectile count. Projectile data. Now is this one. I think I could just nuke a bunch of this stuff. I guess something that's kind of missing that's bad is like being able to actually provide a transform. Teach me, bro. I'm trying. Okay, so we're not out of the woods yet. Because we need to get the pitch and offset this by the pitch. And also be able to pretty much override with the actual transform. Oops. Because what are we doing when we say spawn and claim and shape, right? So we get to here and we construct a transform. We do a bunch of we spawn the transforms and then we do it based on shape. So we might need to, I don't know if we need to add the transform. Like, should the shapes have a custom like additive transform or something? Let's see. So if we go into data, we should go to what, like shape base. We probably just need also U property, edit, defaults only. That, and then not spawn radius, but we need F vector. No, we need F transform. So additive spawn transform. Then essentially in the pooling system, you gotta say can I say spawn? Well, I also have to take in the shape, right? So I have to say so spawn transform plus equals current fragment dot like that. Curious if that's the thing. So do we have to add it to like each shape? There's that, but then there's also this one, which need to also include that. So we're doing the spawn transforms, right? So we're doing construct, shape transforms, which is here. So it all gets called through that. So that might be enough. Let's see. Because I'm curious if we have to treat it as an override rather than it being additive, I guess. I'll have to look at the other example. So if we look at range attack basic, for example, you know, we have an override like this, right? So it's basically when we're dealing with shapes that we don't have that capability. Because we're constructing the rotation. So ideally here, I guess I didn't save what I just did last time, so that's fine. Excuse me. I'm hoping, so projectile pulling system, what's the word? Spawn shape. Count is projectile count. Gonna make it instant struct. We're just gonna do cone, fragment. We're gonna get start. Is it start angle? No, max frontal angle. On radius. See. Again, just I don't know if zero's gonna be a problem, but now that we have this additive thing, we should be able to split that. We're gonna do location. Pitch. Hopefully that's it. Instigator. Care about the event listener. Like, this is kind of messy. Oh. I make spawn radius 1. And if I hide, oh, so it resets when you hide, so that's good to know. So that should be enough to prove my point. Well, let's see. Well, I guess we're gonna find out, right? So I'm gonna zoom in, we're gonna slow down time, and I'm gonna charge. So we got 1, 2, 3. And yeah, they got yeeted off over there. That's good to know. I didn't do that right. So is there a better way? I'm sure I'm doing something stupid as fuck, but here's my cone. Spawn plus equals current. Like, I guess I have to do what? So spawn direction. So roll pitch. No, this is. Is pitch last when we do this? Because yeah, we do spawn origin. So I feel like spawn origin needs to be something we also look at, right? So does the F vector, so construct shapes, transforms. Because yeah, we do what? Spawn origin is here, right? So I feel like maybe I need to like immediately grab that and modify it as well. Where I would say spawn origin. So what's the best way to add fragment? Or sorry, add vectors. Like fmath add vector or something? Because clearly it's not that. Because what's the error it's giving me? You know, no visible puzzle equals const. All right, so it's const. That's why. So we gotta say, so f vector modified spawn origin equals that. And then we say so I think maybe I should just say f vector modified spawn origin state base fragment. Then I don't have to do that every single time. And then maybe I also have to do like f rotator modified spawn, or I guess rotation equals state fragment, get pointer, or should be rotation, right? So then I feel like when I say spawn direction, or maybe I have to say like maybe f vector spawn modified spawn direction equals fmath. So rotation dot vector. So I should be able to say, okay. Then I'm hoping I could just say spawn direction equals spawn direction x plus modified direction x, y. I could just say maybe like that. I don't know if that's gonna work. Then I pretty much have to do the same thing. And again, I don't even know if that's correct, you know? Like maybe I have to say fmath cosine this, and then maybe I do it here. And I could just get rid of this. But something tells me I have to do something similar again. Get rid of that. Let's see if that made a difference. Because it's a classic mistake that I didn't even give myself a means to provide a transform offset for these shapes. Because yeah, maybe you want to spawn them above or something, or below, or from a specific point, you know? So that's a whoopsie doopsie on my behalf. So let's try that again. Maybe this shouldn't be a transform, but like a location or something, but we'll see. So let's see. So we have 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so way off still. The cone angle seems fine. So let's draw some debug shapes, I guess, right? Because something tells me I am stupid, right? So owner forward, instigator forward, base angle, all that stuff, right? So spawn direction. So I want to say, you know, what's the modified? So draw debug sphere, get world, modified spawn origin. Let's see where this sphere is drawn. Because I'm definitely doing something wrong. Because also the direction is way off. Is it my current radius? Like, I don't think I have it as something big, right? Yeah, fun. See, we got ourselves a bot. Let's get the hell out of here. Okay. So we are getting things right. So we're getting the world position, right? So let me also draw debug sphere at this location for 2 seconds. One thickness of white is fine. Let's make it 20. Something tells me like this location should be where I'd expect it, right? Yeah. So let's draw the red at where the fragment is. Like, is it not getting the right data? Is it like relative to something else that I'm not taking into consideration? Okay, so let's see where the white and the red ones are spawning. So, in the same position. So, that's good. So, maybe I need to modified origin equals. Maybe I have to say is there a F math transform, or is it Ukismet math library transform location? And I have to do like so transform is positioned by the supply transform. Because yeah, maybe it just has to be additive based on the location. So can I say F transform What am I looking for? I get to say 0 rotator. And spawn origin. Wonder if that's correct. I'll have to draw a debug sphere now. Let's see. So I don't know if I would have to do this. I guess I would have to do the same for the rotator. I don't think there's like a transform rotation thing. So what color is that? Red. Once again broke that. Still scuffed. We have the inverse transform location. Let's see. And again, I'm not crazy because we're printing that there. Okay. It's different. I'm not sure, honestly. Okay, so there is inverse transform position, so maybe I could just do it that way. I should just be able to do. Okay, let me see. Maybe it needs to be treated as like a transform. Not. Let's see. So if I'm doing this, dot get location. So let me say f transform spawn transform equals f transform, and we'll say instigator get to location spawn origin, and then we say f vector modified spawn origin equals spawn transform dot transform position what if I draw that? Am I getting? I should be getting the spheres in the same position. So the white and the red should be the same. We got ourselves a kitty on the ground. Hudge. See if she'll come up this way. Hudge, boo boo. Come here. There she is. You can all say hi. Good job, boo boo. Okay, so we got a compile error. Isn't that right, boo boo? Yay. Let's see. So spawn transform hides previous local declaration. Okay, so I don't know if she wants to lay in the basket or not. We'll let her decide. So yeah, so it seems like so let me do initial spawn transform, right? Maybe that's all it needs. Voting succeeded. Let's see. Nope. But what am I doing wrong? So I think I need to treat this as maybe an override transform. Oh my god, there's so much cat here. Because I guess that doesn't really make sense. I'm doing it based off the actor location, and it doesn't really make too much sense. Because I wonder if I were to change this from RTS World to, I don't know, component, do we get different results? Yeah. Well, no. The white is wrong, but oh god. Okay. We got Kitty. I'm right on top of the keyboard. I'm not going to be able to type anything. Lola. Crazy. Oh my lord. We got a kitty being crazy. Damn. Okay, I think maybe we need to treat this. Oh my god, Lola. I can't type because of the kitty on the keyboard. What are you doing? No, no. You're making it impossible to work, boo boo. I know it looks like I'm not doing anything. There's an absolute menace here. I'm gonna have to close the blinds as well. We're gonna have to move the kitty. Sorry, boo. Come on. Get up. Get up. Oh. You're crazy, boo boo. Mm. Mm. Oh, okay. All right. Sorry about that. Oh god. Let's see. Did we close out of all the? Oh yeah, we closed out of opera. Sorry about that. We should be getting the music back on. So yeah, I think we should be treating this as just the spawn origin. The spawn transform, right? And so when we get into this system and we get to, you know, especially these things, like most likely we need it's like maybe it should be built into the thing. Like I don't know if the shape needs to have it, but so to me what this says is can I say like if shape fragment get pointer f projectile spawn shape face dot spawn transform equals f transform identity. Or maybe I need to say so U property that defaults only. B use instigator. B use instigator as transform, or B custom spawn transform. Cool. It's false. And we gotta say meta equals edit condition hides B custom spawn transform. And then we say in the here, we say what do we say? So if so we could say f transform identity, and then we would say spawn transform equals custom transform, then we say like that, right? Then, so spawn direction. It's what? Do that. Then for here, then we just do what? Spawn direction, I think. Just brought back down to this for a second. And then the spawn can be what? And then do I do... No, the overlap. So what's wrong? Spawn position. What's wrong with that? I don't know. So how do I modify the spawned direction? I say like float z equals spawn transform dot get rotation dot, so get axis z. Wonder if that's valid, but again, I gotta look at the cone. So let's get rid of you, let's get rid of you. Spawn transform. Yeah, location. Let's see. Yeah, it's looking like this is going to be a finale part 2 kind of situation, if I'm going to be real. A build failed. Excellent. So declaration sponsored from the highest previous declaration, right? So it's like the rest of the shapes that are not doing. I mean, it's red, right? Hope this will work. Okay, at least we passed. Let's see if it's gonna work. That's the pitch. Station. See. Okay. I know what's happening. This has to be world. Try again. There you go. I'm not too sure why they're not colliding with that though. Is it because there's no damage fragment? Yeah, I don't like that. Like if it doesn't have damage, it doesn't collide with things. So let me add a shape plane. Okay, now let me add a dummy. Now slow motion. So if I do this, we have to aim offset, shoots up. Good, right? Now I aim up. Up. And good. Yeah, missed, but it went up. So that seems good. So let's look at the projectile itself again. Now let's do, again, overlap. It's essentially saying if not and not heal target and other actor dot is I think I could just say you gas course character, right? Or a gas course character class. Let's see. Hello, Saranya Play. How you doing? Thanks for popping in and saying hello. see if our charged attack hits. Does that? Does the charge attack go through? I think so. Let's get all of our arrows back. Can't tell. Is it shooting only 2? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it's going through because it doesn't have damage. That's what we expect. So that seems to also work. So now the real kind of question is, like, should I be like when I have a visual mesh, right? Or a visuals fragment. Like, should I be pulling anything from any sort of like table? You know what I mean? Like, should I have a data table full of like the visual fragments for certain weapons and stuff? Because like if I have different bows with different arrows, how do I pass along that information from the weapon itself into the projectile that I'm shooting? That's the question that I need to answer for myself now. Like, how best to handle that, really? Like, do I literally just don't even have the visual data here? Or is the projectile mesh pulled somewhere else? If we know it's a static thing, this is fine, I think, that way, but we might want to be able to pull it dynamically. So just as a, I guess, example, because we'd also have to like possibly modify this transform as well. So I wonder if this fragment data can also be a data table row. Oh, hey, yo, Bioplume dude. What's up, man? I remember you. How could I forget? So those are some big questions I need to answer for myself. Like, how can I more easily parameterize this and make this more data driven and more runtime specific? Of like, hey, you know, I'm using this arrow. Let me pull, you know, from this weapon, like, construct the data from that. You know what I mean? Can I show you something? I don't know how you're going to show me something, but sure. Because yeah, there's also impact stuff that, you know, maybe that needs to be data driven elsewhere as well. So we may not be out of the woods just yet. But we're getting there. Just thinking in silence in the moment. Like, should it be split into different things? You know, like, say for example, I have a bow, right, and a default arrow, right, and then I play a card that says, okay, now my arrows are fire arrows. How do I kind of runtime inject like the different projectile, the effects, and possibly different travel audio and impact gameplay cues and stuff like that? So, like, I wonder if there needs to be maybe like a data table of like, okay, fire, so like arrow elemental effects or something. And there's like base, and then there's fire, ice, poison, whatever the case might be. And then, you know, at runtime we check, okay, do you have the tag for fire arrows? Yes. Pull constructive visual fragment based on that data. You know what I mean? So I wonder, I forget what needs to happen in order for the stuff to be also a data table thing. How to make struct compatible. So I have to inherit from F table row base. So you should only have one struct base, right? Or can it be public F table base? Will that work? I wonder. Go check out my lasted video. I don't know if I trust this. Go to channel. Is it the day one of making a game? Is that the video you're referring to? I mean newest. Is that not the newest one? From a day ago. Fifth one. So is it the Viaplume walk? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's what I'm saying. I don't know which one you're referring to. Can you type in the name of the one you want me to look at? So let's see if we have projectiles. Should have player character. Is our player? No, it's all under shared, right? So maybe there has to be player, weapons. The game one, okay. Nice, we got ourselves a side-scroller shooter. Cool stuff. Nice, nice, nice. So yeah, let's work on the data, right? So, data table. Can I now have access to visuals fragment, for example? No. So I can. That's good. So DT player both. Or I should say like arrow data. So maybe arrow types. We go into here and we hit add. Now we have all this stuff, right? So we have the stuff kind of data driven-ish. So we can have like base. So yeah, again, projectile mesh maybe is not something we need here. Like I would assume there would be like a base mesh. There's no enemies yet. They will become very soon. That's awesome. Cool to see some progress. Slowly but surely you'll get there. So, how do I want to handle this stuff? So we have arrow types where I can put meshes and stuff, but how would I want to pull the mesh data from the weapon? Something tells me the projectile mesh would not have to be there. Bye. Bye. Have a good night. Or afternoon, morning, wherever you may be. Is it impact and expire effects is good. Travel effects. Projectile expire the effects. But yeah, something tells me maybe there needs to be a separation of like the base mesh. So like if we have a fire arrow, is it still the same arrow base, but with so like for example, projectile mesh and projectile mesh transform stuff would be actually kicked out, and it's more driven this way. So we would have like a elemental pool. So there's just base setup, fire, ice, and stuff like that. So to me, there might need to be a separation here where we could say construct, because there's also like the case of like how would it work? Because I would want to have basically pull data in from, like I could make it not well, like for some cases, like for enemies and stuff, like we would probably want to have all this information there, right? Because in the end, what this would look like in practice, I suppose, is under range base. Basic, right? So in here, rather than me in this data, put it in this projectile visual fragment. It would look like this, where fragment, construct, visuals, fragment. No, do visuals fragment, right? Out, arrow, visuals. Yo, what's up, guys? Hey, how's it going? It's going good. I'm doing good today. I'm thinking about how to better data drive visuals for the projectile, so we're not out of the woods yet. Because I was thinking, because the visuals are constructed here, there's some data that I would want there to be constructed kind of at runtime. So, like, I would pull the mesh from the actual bow data of the weapon, for the player at least. And then I would inject that into data that I pull from like different arrow types. So, you know, there could be like a base type that has like a default trail, default impacts and stuff like that, and default audio, and default gameplay cues and stuff. And then we would have a fire arrow if we activate a card, or grant ourselves like arrow.type fire or something. So I'm trying to figure out how to best do that. And so like I made all my fragment structs compatible with data tables, because I'm thinking if like maybe the projectile mesh could be empty for the player and we pull that in at runtime. So like for example, so data table row. No. Is there evaluate data table? Get data table row. And I could have what? So arrow types. Not subtract, but I would break. And I would make. Don't necessarily have to break it at the moment. This would be quite useful for the cards. Yeah, exactly. I'm trying now to think a little more forward. I think this has to be what? Just the instance struct. So in theory, this should still work. So what's wrong? Build connection only matching structures. Okay. I do make instance struct. So this is in basic. So now it should show the same. Well, no, it won't, because I have nothing here. Whoops. So in theory, nothing should show up, which we would expect, which is correct. So then if I do essentially copy, oh, I shouldn't have Control Z that out, but whatever. So let's do arrow. I think I did SM arrow, right? I know I updated the transform as well, but we should see at least an arrow, which we do. We do. It's obviously sideways and doesn't match like any kind of scale or whatever, but we see something. Well, I got logged in. I just want to see if I can salvage a diff here so I can remember the transforms. I think I... against Diffo. No. Crap. So you roll pitch, right? And yaw. So is this 180 or was it just 90? Hard to tell. Okay. 90. I think I made it like at scale. Yeah, the arrow itself is pretty long. It's definitely the wrong mesh. So arrow. Is it SM bow arrow one, I think. But obviously we're gonna have to pull this from the weapon data anyway. And now the transform's wrong again. But yeah, let's look at the bow data. I feel like I'm fucking up on what the mesh is, so let me go to bow, weapon, BP, weapon base, reference. I guess it's just this one. So we have projectile weapon data, which is all this stuff, right? So really just that, right? But we actually have some of the transform information, so it's 2.5 on 1. See what that looks like. Okay. Tis just backwards. Oh, 180. There we go. Now see there's no impacts or anything like that. Like, it would be, I guess, useful if, like, each, like, arrow, like, because we have a few different types of arrows, I think, right? We have crossbow stuff, but yeah, maybe not a bunch of different arrows. Let me look at my whole content and static mesh. And not that many, so maybe it's okay to have like the base living in here. I don't know. I think it would be cool to be able to pull it out differently, but I guess for the sake of this, it's fine. So trail, do I have any like There's a bullet tracer. What does this look like? I can't tell at all. Yeah, we have trails, right? So flame trail, holy trail, ice trail, lightning trail, nature, poison, rocket, shadow, shadow the hedgehog. Fire, holy, nature, I guess green, water. So maybe there's no trail for like the base one. Like I feel like yeah, holy trail, holy trail, Batman. Because like for example, these are impacts, muzzles, but then like these trails, right? So if I copy one and just do NS base projectile trail as an example, right? Yeah, exactly. So like this definitely seems over the top. So bloom, droplets, foam, and splash. So possibly something just like that. And then the color is just more like kind of diluted. Like it may not have to be noticeable. So what does that look like in practice? Don't really see anything, so might not be good. Let me pause. Where's the arrow? Did the arrow fall? The arrow's gone. Oh, arrow. Pause. And you can kind of see it. Maybe it needs to be more prominent. Like if I were to make that one. And do this again. And like sometimes like maybe it doesn't even matter. Like, isn't even worth it? I don't know. Like, should there also be like a ribbon behind it? You know? Oops. Yeah, maybe. Trail. Oh God. It's hard to tell. Oh, is it this one? This is Weapon Trail Base. This is something. Whoa, whoa. So maybe there's something worth copying. So nothing really for that. Edit this will affect 12 dependencies across all versions. No. Is there anything to inherit? Is there a ribbon? An E ribbon? Oh, something. Kinda? But yeah, spawn rate's probably not good. I don't know what mass is really doing. Ribbon width is fine. Scale color. Velocity. Do I not want to do add velocity or? Almost. Almost, yeah. The lifetime, probably like 1. Color. Some white. Closer. So, probably 0.4. I don't think mass matters. Width probably could be thinner. This could probably be a little bit more transparent. And spawn rate, I don't think it has to be 100. Can it be just 10? Sort of. Definitely comes out a bit late. I don't think there is any sort of delay, right? Particle state, scale, color. Then screen. Sort of. Yeah, not too big of, and I don't know if it has to do with the spawn rate. So if I make that 100, does that change anything? Kind of. And I assume that's not very good on the... It's not the end of the world. I think just the color scaling is a little off. Time can be shorter. That's not bad. What do you guys think? It's not perfect, but I think it gets the job done. Makes it a little bit more visible. So maybe then I would add this same logic in the different Niagara effects. Like, to me, spawn rate seems a bit too high still. Yeah, I think that works. I got the guy, bam. Maybe we don't want to kill it immediately, because I think it just kind of pops out of existence. So kill particles when nighttime has elapsed. Loop duration, complete last. Let me... Let me make the light time 1 second again, just so it's super long. Okay, and let me just hit this guy. Does it pop out? Yeah. So how do we make sure that this fades out? Maybe it's in the actual visuals. So let me go to the projectile. We're getting close to the end of the stream though, so it's definitely gonna be more. So when we look, oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god. What did I just do? Okay. So when we do return projectile to pool, we do deactivate immediate. Is that needed? Because I know the reason why we did it that way was so that when objects were returned to the pool from like these huge expanse things, there was issues with like, you could see like artifacting as it was returned to the pool. And maybe that's intentional. And we need to keep it that way. Okay, we failed. Epic fail. Failure shot when expecting struck while parsing. What happened? I don't know why that's there. Okay, let's double check this. We'll look at the use case on the enemy again, see if it's still happening, and if so, we'll kind of know what we need to do later. So, the things I need to think about for next time are how maybe I can have a, I don't know if it needs to be a chooser table to basically say, hey, when you have this tag, that means you are spawning the arrow for fire arrow, like, and you're pulling it at this row name. Or if it just needs to be another data asset somewhere. And then what happens if we combine? You know, if we ever want to have like a fire arrow that's also poisonous, is that a thing that can realistically happen? Or is that a limitation that we need to set for ourselves, where you can only have one element assigned at a time? So let's spawn a guy. Where is he? Still disappears immediately. And let's just check, did we undo? So let's see, NPC range, no. Projectile. Base. Spawn shape delay. Let's do circle. None in between. Let's do 20. Let's see. Should shoot stuff. Okay. So we did mess something up. Because now they're not spawning around. I need to say spawn transform equals base fragment be custom transformed, like that. I think that's correct. That, and I think that should fix the problem, and if it does, good. We'll have to call it from there. But we'll have to start thinking about it more. Because I think for enemies and stuff, like my concern, like I guess they would need to have like similar stuff, right? There should be like a base projectile table, and then like an elemental augmentation or something, so that they can have a simple like projectile, and then we, you know, because maybe their projectiles are purely VFX anyway, and we just say, hey, it's a fire now, spawn this one. So does it spawn around him? Yes. And they're homing, so that's terrifying. Should that be the case? Yeah, we have a homing fragment. So that behaves as what you'd expect, you know. So we pull it in, and then when they all return. Okay, so we don't see any of that artifacting, so that's good. I just don't like that this ribbon gets killed immediately. Might also be because of reset system. Last thing to check, I swear, and then we're calling it a night. So let's see if the problem persists now. Again, we should be seeing artifacting. If it's still going to be a problem, it should be pretty obvious. No? Okay. Does this die immediately? Yes. Still does. Okay. So that sucks. But okay, we'll figure that out. What games am I playing these days? So on my PC, currently I'm going through Horizon Forbidden West. And then after that, I'm going to jump back into Crimson Desert. I need to re-download some games. I think I'm going to remind myself to do that now. I need to re-download Ghost of Tsushima. Which one has the most space? On the Steam Deck, I'm trying to finish Haste. I'm on the final shard and it's kicking my ass. I'm also going through Kingdom Hearts 3 on the Steam Deck. I might need to port that over to the PC and get onto that. Loved Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2. I didn't play any of the Game Boy Advance and Interim Remix 1.5s or anything like that. So going through that. From time to time, I'll put on Mega Bonk, or I'll play Dicey Dungeon or Die in the Dungeon. And then on the Xbox One, I'm going through Rage. And I'm also playing John Woo's Stranglehold. Because I remember this game was one of the free demos from Xbox 360. I thought it was so cool. And then now I'm playing it, I'm like, man, this game's kind of lame. It was made in Unreal Engine 3, fun fact. But that, after I'm done with Rage, I'll jump into Rage 2, beat that. And then, I don't know what I'm going to play after that, but playing a kind of a mixed bag of stuff at the moment. And then on Switch, I still have Donkey Kong Bonanza, but I haven't been playing it too much. I checked out the Star Fox demo yesterday. It was pretty good. And yeah, it's a lot of games. And then I'm also playing this one. So yeah, that's where I'm going to end it for today. If you like beat 'em ups and try just absolute Absalom or beat 'em up pretty good. That sounds familiar. Do I have that? Yeah, I do have that. So I'll definitely check it out. Maybe you recommended it to me a while ago, and I got it. But yeah, haven't had a chance yet. So yeah, that's where I'm gonna end it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. It's very much appreciated as always. If you aren't already subscribed to me on YouTube, make sure to sub. If you aren't following me here on Discord, a follow would be much appreciated, and check us out on Discord. Share your stuff, hang out, become part of the posse, and learn, grow, share knowledge together, so we can all be better developers. So yeah, I'm hoping I could still maybe make a presentation video soon. I do want to figure out this data stuff. So we'll do a more concentrated focus next stream on Tuesday, and so hopefully by next week we'll have better data-driven stuff for down the line. So have a good night, have a good weekend. I'll see you soon. Take care.